All right, maggots, listen up. I'm Sergeant Smalee, your senior drill instructor. From now on, whenever you speak to me, the first and last words out of your filthy sewers will be sir. That's right, you're in the G-rated shock value corps now, where the G rating is filled with more testosterone than the unprepared can handle. Over the course of my instruction, you will hate me, but the backward proverb training you received today will allow you to survive any and all G-rated terrors and threats to logic that cross your path in the future. You will not laugh. You will not cry. You will learn by the numbers. I will teach you. You will recognize that the best way to know something backwards, forwards, inside, and out is to first know it backwards. Do you ladies understand?
Sir, yes, sir.
First off, Private Cowboy, let me tell you why everyone in the Corps should love nightmares and hate good dreams. When you have a nightmare and you wake up, you realize your worthless real life is better than the nightmare you just had. However, when you wake up from a good dream and regret returning to real life, you realize your real life isn't as good as the dream you woke up from. So you're happier with reality after waking up from a nightmare than you are after waking up from a good dream. Of course, this doesn't really much matter anyway, because the closer you look at reality, the faker you realize it is. Now sound off like you aren't scumbags. 1, 2, 3, 4. I love the G-rated Corps. 1, 2, 3, 4. I love the G-rated Corps. Second, Private Pile, we need to discuss money matters. Anybody in my beloved Corps should never buy anything that's on sale. Sales are just twinkle-toe gimmicks to get you to buy more. Even if you were going to buy something anyway, when you find out it's on sale, you should change your mind immediately, so you brainless chunks of bile don't become addicted to buying items on sale. Also, as a member of the Corps, you must desire opportunity more than prosperity and control more than luxury. If you follow this path, perhaps one day you might be lucky enough to attain the status of a homeless guy who controls the entire world. So far, Diogenes the Cynic came closer to this goal than anyone else I know of who wasn't an offspring of the Virgin Mary. Do you believe in the Virgin Mary, Private Joker? Also, all members of the Corps should be aware that the lottery is not possible to win. What's your excuse? A calculus teacher once told his class, somebody's gonna win the lottery. It just ain't gonna be you. So now you maggots know how bad the odds of winning are. You're actually more likely to win if you don't play than if you do play. If your very own Sergeant Smalee ever happens to win the lottery by not playing it, he's going to go and get a PhD in mathematics with the winnings. Now you realize that the best members of the Corps are so insane with G-rated shock value that they'd rather spend lottery winnings on something mentally painful than on overpriced hunks of junk like BMWs. That's the way they keep their war face. Private Snowball, let me see your war face. You don't convince me. Let me see your real war face. Now that's a good war face. Heck, a smelly stack of stink with a war face like that deserves a sword. It's true that he who lives by the sword dies by the sword. But whoever lives by anything at all will die by that thing also, whether it's a weapon or not. The sword is not special in this regard. Whatever you live by, you will also die by. Ultimately, we are the deaths of ourselves. And a Corps member is not allowed to die without permission. Anyone who is not given a sword will be given a rifle instead. To those of you that get a rifle, you will give your rifle a girl's name. And not just any girl's name. You will give it an ugly girl's name. The uglier the better. Betsy used to be the ugliest girl name anybody could think of, and that's why our forefathers called their rifles Old Betsy. But Betsy isn't an ugly enough name for you discharges of phlegm to use. Now if you happen to spell Betsy backwards, then that name may be ugly enough. Up in the morning to the rising sun, up in the morning to the rising sun, gonna run all day till the running's done, gonna run all day till the running's done. Looks good, feels good, good for you, good for you, good for me, good for me. And while you maggots are just starting to work on ugly backwards names, your senior drill instructor has been working on upside-down reading for years now. Even the smallest of your pea-brains needs to understand that for upside-down reading to work, you have to start on the bottom right of each page and proceed to the top left, or else you couldn't read the words in order. Upside down reading is absolutely essential for doubling reading speed. If books are ever printed in such a way that one line is written right side up and the line below is written upside down, then the eye can read the second line as it moves back to the left side of the page. Since you have to move your eyes back to the left after you finish a line anyway, you lazy fat bodies might as well be reading more material as you move your eyes back to the left. Regular reading is done in such a way that eye movement is not optimized. The eye reads left to right, left to right, left to right, but does nothing as it moves right to left to start the next line. So if books were written half right side up and half upside down, all reading would be twice as fast, and the eye would be less likely to lose its spot moving from one line to the next. Now that's real and practical speed reading, not the fake stuff you see fairy godmother advertisements for. You G-rated privates should avoid dishonoring yourself and dishonoring the platoon by appreciating all upside-down reading. It perfectly symbolizes the operations of the world. Half of the things we see throughout life work in a rational and expected manner, like the right side up print, while everything else works very much like you subhuman numbskulls, in the most completely irrational, upside-down way that can be imagined. Now let's celebrate these lessons well learned the way everything should be celebrated, by cleaning and sanitizing the head. What's a jelly donut doing inside of my beloved head?